It's a feast day. It's a feast day. It's a feast day. It's a feast day. Yeah, it's a feast day. 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 Yeah, it's a feast day. Stepped in with my garment on. About to party from the morning till the night's gone. Feeling good, got you bouncing like a 6'4". Giving praises and I'm dancing till the beat's gone. Ha, fringes swaying in the wind. Shalom, most high, Christ bless every time.
What's up, Facebook world, man? We back at it today. Shalom.
Shalom.
I go by the name of Ephraim Yasharala.
And I go by Yakanan Maccabees Yasharala.
And today we're going to use the Bible and we're going to go through some of the feast days and holy days that we should be keeping to honor the Most High God. Living in captivity, we celebrate a lot of pagan holidays, but we're going to go through the feast days and holy days that we should keep according to the Most High God. So we're going to start off in the book of John, and we're going to start at chapter 8, verse 32.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And of course, we always start off with that because, the truth is the only thing that's going to bring us from out of these pagan holidays and bring us out of our ways, the custom that we're taking off from captivity. And the truth is what's really going to help us to be able to get out the conditions that we're in today, especially us being the children of Israel. We got some law, statute, commandments that we're supposed to follow according to the Most High God. And a lot of these religions are telling us that we don't have to follow these, and these laws are done away with. But through these holidays and things that we're going to go through today, this is how you honor the Most High God and celebrate. So from there, we're actually going to jump from Isaiah 28 and 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
And again, we always use that just because that's the way you're only going to get the true mysteries of the Bible. If you go on precept upon precept, line upon line, because you're going to find things like it says here a little and there a little, and you put things together to find out the truth of the Bible. So the first thing we're going to start off with first and foremost is the Sabbath day. And we're going to jump to Exodus chapter 20, and we're going to start at verse 8 and work our way down to 11. A lot of Christian churches and Catholic Church as well tell us that we don't have to keep the Sabbath day. Or they also tell us that the Sabbath day is now Sunday, which is a lie. That's something that the Romans did. They changed Sunday to get our people to do sun worship. So with that, we're going to read. We're going to start reading. Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8.
Read.
Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, that thou nor thy son nor thy daughter, thy manservant nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
So proof through the scriptures is saying right there, 6 days you shall work, and on the seventh day, that should be the Sabbath. You should keep it holy. And now the way we keep the Sabbath holy is we don't cook, you don't clean, you don't trade, buying, pretty much anything that your heart desires, you stay away from. That's the day you're supposed to praise the Most High God and give him his worship, give him his honor, his glory. And by doing that, these are the things we keep what we desire most, and we honor the Most High God on that day.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right. See, so as you see right there, it says on the sixth day he stopped. On the seventh day he rested. You know what I'm saying? So that's the day we're supposed to. So it proves right there that Sunday on the calendar, when you look at it already, it shows you that that's the first day of the week. So it says on the seventh day you're supposed to keep the. So if you can do the math yourself, 7 is Saturday. So we celebrate the Sabbath from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. So from there we're going to get into the Passover, and we're going to go from there to Exodus chapter 13, and we're going to start at 3 and go down to 4.
The book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 4. This day came ye out in the month Abib, and it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month.
Now, the reason why we celebrate the Passover, that's because we was in captivity in Egypt. Now, when we was in captivity in Egypt, Moses was sent to the Pharaoh to warn him to let the children of Israel go. And if he didn't, there would be plagues that fall upon Egypt. Now, the Pharaoh denied that, didn't want to let the children of Israel go. So the Most High God actually built him up and then destroyed his land and helped the children of Israel come from captivity. So from there, we're actually going to jump down to 15. I think 15 gets into one of the plagues.
Verse 15. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that openeth the matrix, being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem.
So that's when he redeemed us out of Egypt. Now, this also proves, you know, when a lot of Christian churches are preaching that the Most High God, he loved everybody, that he wouldn't do certain things, but that's showing you right there that the Most High God actually tore down Egypt. He was taking the firstborn of their kids. So it's to show you that he has love for the children of Israel. But when it comes down to it, the Most High God is a beast, and he's going to do what he wants to do. He also said, what were some other plagues that he said? He actually made some of the animals. He made animals bug out. He made them have what was it? Boils on their skin. Yeah.
Lice. He turned the water into blood. It rained frogs, I believe.
So the Most High God is a just God, and I mean he's a savage, but he is also a great God, and he's a just God. So from there, we're actually going to jump down to we're going to go to Exodus chapter 12. And we're going to go to verse 14, and this is the feast of unleavened bread.
The book of Exodus chapter 12 verse 14.
Read.
And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and you shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it a feast by ordinance forever. 7 days shall you eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
All right. So now the feast of unleavened bread. Now, when we was in captivity in Egypt, we were so much in a hurry to get out of Egypt that we wouldn't have time to let the bread rise. So in that, as a memorial, we eat unleavened bread to show the Most High God, to honor him, and also thank him for taking us out of Egypt and taking us out of captivity. So that's just a day of memorial, and we instead of eating like Wonder bread, wheat bread, we actually eat like tortillas and flat bread that typically doesn't have yeast in it, because the bread is not supposed to be risen. So from there, we're actually going to get into the feast of first fruit, Salakia. And from there, we're going to go to Leviticus chapter 23 and start at verse 10.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10.
Read.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it, and ye shall offer that day, when ye wave the sheaf, and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Lord. And the meat offering therefore shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor. And the drink offering therefore shall be of wine, the fourth part of an hin. And ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the same day that ye have bought an offering unto your God. It shall be a salute forever throughout your generations in all dwellings.
So that pretty much covered everything. I don't even want to go down to 11. My man, he was in the spirit right there. Nah, but actually, I mean, so it's basically to celebrate the first harvest of the spring. You know what I mean? It's to embrace it and, you know, reap the first fruits of the year. So I mean,
and thank God for letting the land bear these first fruits.
Right. So I mean, he pretty much killed it right there. If you need any more understanding, I mean, send a comment. We can definitely jump on that topic again. So from there, we're gonna go to blowing of the trumpets, and we're gonna start at Leviticus 23 and go from 24 to 25.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 23.
Read.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall you have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So the blowing of the trumpet is basically symbolic, because in the day of the Lord, when Christ returns, he's going to gather the children of Israel and take us back to our homeland. Now, we do this to be symbolic because when Christ comes back, you're gonna hear them horns. So it's just being symbolic to gather the children of Israel together. So from there, we're gonna go to the Day of Atonement, and we're gonna go to Leviticus 23, go from 27, and we're gonna work our way down to 32.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 27.
Read.
Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Lord your God.
Right. Now, so basically the Day of Atonement is in captivity. Sometimes we slip up with some of these laws because we're in captivity, so these are made for us to break these laws that we're supposed to be following for the Most High God. So basically, that's just a day that you fast with your brothers, and it's actually an atonement for all your wrongdoing. It's also a state of being one in the Most High God with your brothers. So that's the Day of Atonement. So from there, we're gonna go to the Feast of Maccabees. And from the Feast of Maccabees, we're actually gonna go to Salakia, Feast of Maccabees. We're gonna go to the first Maccabees, chapter 4. And we're gonna go from 52 down to 61. Just lock it out, my fault.
It's all right.
No, praise, and we do the most to keep these holidays that we're in captivity with, and these are simple holidays that we can keep to honor the Most High God, and we rather do these pagan holidays than worship the Most High the way we should. You know what I mean?
And if you kept these feast days, you have way more holidays than these pagan holidays in the first place.
Right.
If you just keep the feast days, you have feast weeks, that you can celebrate with your family and teach your children the right way and teach them about their culture, their hidden culture in this Bible.
Right.
I mean, this is so-called Black History Month, but in this Bible, this should Black History Life. Right. This should Hispanic History Life right here. So we should get into this, more than anything.
Right.
It's our responsibility to teach our children these things. We should train up a child the way it should go.
Like the brother said, a lot of these holy days are 7 days. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of time you get to spend with your family. A lot of time you get to educate our kids for them to be able to, learn the way, learn our history, learn where we come from. Because in school, they're only teaching our kids from 16, 19, and up to now. But what about the history before that? Who we really? You know what I mean? So this is the way that we could train. We could teach our kids who we are through the Bible, and according to the Bible, we are the children of Israel. So
you teach them about these heroes in these Bible, like the Maccabees, that we about to get into. Where we at now?
We're going to start at first Maccabees. We're going to go to 4, and we're going to start at verse 52 and work our way down to 61.
Start where? What verse?
We're gonna we're gonna start at start at first Maccabees, and we're gonna go to chapter 4, 52 down to 61.
52 to 61. The book of Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52. Now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month of Casliao, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning, and offer sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and with citherns and harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifices of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields. And the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them. Thus was where very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness. At that time also they built up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down as they had done before. And they sat there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
So basically, in that time we was in Greek captivity. And when we was in Greek captivity, we had a holy temple in Jerusalem that, like I said, was holy, and they actually took it over. And the Greeks, they were profaning the temple that we had. Now,
hold on, I want to get a precept. A lot of people like to say the laws is done away with too, and you ain't got to keep this. And I just want to show you that Christ kept this. And we're going to go into John, the book of John, chapter 10, verses 22. And it says, and it came, and it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication, and it was winter. Verse 23, and Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Now this showing you right there that Jesus was there, YHWH, at the feast of dedication when he walked the earth. So if he kept this, that means we supposed to keep this in the winter, not Christmas, not Nimrod's birthday, but the feast of dedication in the middle of winter. The same time that most likely you're celebrating a pagan ceremony called Saturnalia, you should be keeping the feast of dedication. And we actually had a good feast of dedication this winter, to tell you the truth. I mean, it felt great to do it the way we were supposed to do it, like we was in spirit, and the children was together, and it was humble. So it was good to teach your children this, you know. And if you want, you can give gifts. You want, and the 7 days you got to do it.
And like the brother said, you know what I mean. It's a great thing to do to educate our kids, you know what I mean, especially on our history, where we come from, and who we are. Now, that holiday, that precept right there shows that Christ celebrated this, or YHWH, Slovakia. But and if it's good enough for Christ, it's good enough for me, you know what I mean. And not only that, but again, we bring out the Apocrypha and some of the stuff because the Apocrypha has a history behind it, and that shows right there the Apocrypha correlates with the Bible. You know what I mean? And again, we have the history on our Apocrypha too as well. If y'all don't believe us, we got proof that the Apocrypha was in between the New and Old Testament in the Bible when the 1611 King James Bible was translated into English. Now, more about the dedication. Like I was saying, we were in captivity with Greeks, and they were profaning the temple. Now, the Maccabees got sick of that, and they actually went to war with Antiochus Epiphanes, and they took back the temple and rededicated to God.
That's right.
So the feast of Maccabees, also known as the Feast of Dedication, because when we rededicated our holy temple to Most High God, all praises.
And I would urge y'all to go back and read the book of Maccabees. I mean, it's a really, really great book. It teaches about our lineages, our heroes in our lineage, you know. And it's more beautiful than this Greek mythology they teach y'all in school or whatever. This is the real deal right here. We come from great people, and you teach your children that they come from great people.
For real. And so from there, that's basically the briefing on the Maccabees. So from there, we're gonna go to the feast of, Slovakia, Purim. We're gonna go from there. We're gonna go to Esther, and we'll go to chapter 9, verse 20, and want to work our way down to 31. It's another great holiday, holy day, Slakia, that we should be celebrating to honor the Most High God and honor the things that He does in the Spirit He puts on people to help our people either come out of captivity or get us away from death. You know, it shows these holy days and these things show how powerful the Most High God is and why we need to be keeping these days. Without the Most High God, we wouldn't even still be living today. And we got to take these holy days into consideration. Because if we could worship these pagan holidays, and most of the people just sitting here celebrating these holidays, and you don't even know what they're about. You know what I mean? So this is a great way to come back to the Most High God and follow these holy days. My bad, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, and you get ready to celebrate Valentine's Day. That's one of the most pagan holidays of all. You're doing Tammuz worship. You don't even know where that come from.
Right.
That come from Babylon. Cupid is Nimrod's son, Tammuz.
Right.
You know?
And see, like Hosea 4:6 says, you know, our people have been destroyed from the lack of knowledge, because instead of looking up what we're celebrating, we just go out and celebrate it because the masses do it. You know what I mean? Like, ask yourself, why you put a Christmas tree in your house? I bet you don't even know the reason why you just do it. You know what I mean? You don't even know what you're celebrating. You're just doing it because the masses are doing it. This is a custom that's been pushed on our people.
Why are you celebrating Thanksgiving when they were slaughtering blacks and Hispanics for Thanksgiving?
You know
they were slaughtering the Native Americans, the Pico Indians, the Sioux Indians, the Apache Indians, you know, and then they have different Thanksgivings for every time they slaughter one of these Native American tribes.
And the whole feast itself is symbolizing them killing our people. Now the turkey is the body, the cranberries is the blood, the stuffing is the guts. You know what I'm saying? So the whole feast that you're sitting down with your people and you're celebrating is symbolic to them killing our people.
And they gave them smallpox blankets, and they burned their longhouses, and they did this every time they did these things.
And our people don't even consider what we're doing. We just, like I said, we just follow the custom of the people who put us in captivity because the masses are doing it. And the only way we're going to come out of these conditions is reading this Bible and finding out this history. You know what I'm saying? This history, this Bible is our history. It shows you where we come from, where we started, the things we used to do, the customs we used to keep, the laws we used to keep that kept us together as people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we out here killing each other and not knowing who we are, not knowing that we are the chosen people from the Most High God, that the Most High God loves us the most out of all nations. You know what I'm saying? Just one law alone in this Bible, love your brother like you love thyself, could help us take over this whole nation. But because we're too used to looking at each other as spicks or as Negroes, when shit happens to us, we don't do nothing. Salaki, it's in our language.
We too busy killing each other.
Too busy killing each other than building each other up. And that's what this whole Bible is about.
We hating on you if we tell you about yourself. We taught that as hate. When you loving your brother, when you telling them about themselves.
That's the most wonderful correction you can ever give somebody, is actually correcting them and rebuking them and having them change their ways, because at the end of the day, I'd rather be judged by man than when Christ come back. Because when Christ came back, there's no kissing babies and shaking hands, man. He's coming. When that sky cracked, the Most High come back, he's putting a lot of people to death. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people to destruction. And by celebrating these holy days and celebrating the things that the Most High God would want us to honor instead of celebrating these pagan holidays, could help us come back and help us come back in the Most High God glory. Now, so from there, we're going to go to the Feast of Purim. And again, that's the 9/20. I'm sorry, I started talking a little bit. I started getting in the spirit, man. Man, I wish our people were wising up. You know what I mean? It's tough seeing the most special people to the Most High God walking around and not even knowing who they are.
You want to start at 20 or 18?
I mean, if you want to start at 18, if you got something better, if you're in the spirit,
okay,
baby, you could do it. I mean,
the Book of Esther.
So just go. You want to go 18 to 20? You want to read the whole 31? You know what I mean?
Okay. The Book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 18.
Read.
But the Jews that were in Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a good day of gladness and feasting, and a good day and of sending portions one to another. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus,
right,
both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly, as the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another and gifts to the poor. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pure, that is the lot, to consume them and to destroy them. But when Esther came from the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
Now, the reason why this is such a beautiful feast to celebrate right here, because again, it shows how the Spirit of the Most High can work against people to help us, children of Israel. Now, this actually, King Ahasuerus, or also known as Xerxes, they call him, right? Now, he was entertaining his kingdom, and he commanded his wife to be there. His wife refused, and so her refusing actually made him ask the wise men what he should do. So them being scared that because of her refusing, that other wives in the kingdom would refuse to their husband, instead of keeping her as a wife, he ended up divorcing her. And from him divorcing her, he ended up marrying a Jew, Esther. And from him marrying Esther, it actually saved our people that were in the land, because a man named Haman was setting up a plot to kill our people. So the Most High God put the spirit on her for her to rebel against her husband. King Ahasuerus divorced her, got with Esther, and it saved our people from being put to death. Now I see somebody ask what Bible it was. We use the King James Bible.
1611.
1611.
With the Apocrypha.
With the Apocrypha, because it's the most accurate Bible that was translated from the Greek and Hebrew into the English, our language today. All the NIV Bibles, the ESVs, all the other Bibles are pretty much trash, man. There's a lot of scriptures missing from them Bibles, you know what I mean? And it's to keep us away from knowing who we really are. Now again, like I was saying, so it's amazing how the Most High can put the Spirit on somebody to work in our favor, especially when we praise the Most High God, and it shows how much favor He has to us and us, the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So these are the high holy days that we need to celebrate as a people and come back to the Most High God and get away from these pagan holidays, man. For real. Because these pagan holidays was keeping us away from the Most High God and keeping us separate in the spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we need to go away from these things, because right now the people that's killing us, they're not being held accountable for the things that they're doing, because we have turned into these pagan ways. We have taken on the ways of our oppressors, and it says for us not to envy our oppressors or to take on any of their ways.
Right.
And that's just what we're doing. We're taking on their ways. We're taking on their holidays. We're taking on their customs. But if you go to the Book of Kings, chapter 8, verse 47, it says, "Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness.
Bring it out.
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
Right.
Then hear thou their prayers and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them."
Right. So right there, Right there is showing you to bethink yourself, to remember who we were. Because part of the curses was we were going to be taken to another land and we were going to forget who we were. We were going to forget our nationality, forget our inheritance from the Most High God. So that's why we're walking around and we're thinking that we're African American. We're thinking that we're Spanish. We're thinking that we're Indians. We're so-called Indians, so-called black, so-called Spanish. But we're not. You know what I mean? And that's part of the curses. So now we're walking around thinking with these people. For example, like people who think we're Puerto Rican. When you translate that, that's called a rich poor. How are you a thing? You know what I mean? That gets back into the nationality. We're going to do another video on nationality as well to show how we are the children of Israel and the curses that will fall upon us because we broke our law, statutes, and commandments to the Most High God. And we have to come back to that. And by keeping these holy days, keeping your law, statutes, and commandments, we're going to get to reap some benefits of the kingdom. You know what I mean? Now, actually jump to Isaiah 14, 1 and 2. And this is what's going to happen when Christ comes back. This is something that's going to happen to these people who took us captive and brought us to another land.
The book of Isaiah.
This is future prophecy.
Chapter 14, 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Hold up. Jacob is Israel. That's the 12 tribes. That's who we are. Go ahead.
And will yet choose Israel.
Choose who?
Israel.
Nah, it's for everybody.
Israel.
He's going to choose Israel. Go ahead.
And set them in their own land. Mm-hmm. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Now we're all going to be equal.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Come on, man.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Mm-hmm. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord. For servants and handmaids.
Nah, we're all gonna be equal, living on the same playing field.
For servants and handmaids.
We're gonna be servants and handmaids. The heathen, the people who are not the children of Israel, they're gonna be servants and handmaids. That's coming from the Most High God. That's not our word. That's why in Revelations 13:10 it says, "Those who put us in captivity are gonna be those who lead us in captivity are gonna be put into captivity." You know what I'm saying? So that's a precept to that right there. Go ahead, read.
And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
So it's showing you right there through all this captivity that we're going through now. The Most High God is going to take us out this captivity, and every heathen, every nation that took us in captivity, they're going to be our servants and handmaids. That's coming from the Most High God Himself. These are not our words. People think that everybody's equal in this earth, but they're not. You know what I mean? I'm actually getting too much in the spirit. I might end up jumping around a different topic, man. It's kind of making me go crazy. But it's true. I mean, the Most High God is not here for everybody. And that's what a lot of our people want to save these heathens, save these other nations. But the Most High God's not here for them. It says over and over again in this Bible that He's here for the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. You so-called blacks, Spanish, and Native Americans. The Most High God is here for you. You know what I'm saying? And there's plenty of proof. Anybody want to debate? Anybody want to? I'm telling you, we shut these down. We're not the Gentiles they're talking about is not these other nations, man. The Most High God is here for us. We got to understand that we are a special people unto the Most High God. We are a holy people, and we got to come back to these law, statutes, and commandments, or the Most High God is going to keep His back turned from us.
And these people going to keep doing what they're doing to us. I mean, you looking around you. We done tried everything. We done tried marching. You done marched, you see who's in control. It's the unjust is in control.
Thanks.
The earth has been handed to the wicked. The earth is in the hand of the wicked.
Matter of fact, go to Lamentations 4:17. Damn, we about to go crazy right now. Yeah, we getting in the spirit right now. Yeah, we're going a little crazy, but we're getting a little off topic. But you know what I'm saying? It's just to prove that who we are today, we are holy people to the Most High God, and we have to understand who we are. Come back to these law, statutes, commandments, and be one with the Most High. You know what I mean? We can't think we're equal as everybody else because this Bible does not show that we're equal to everybody else. We got to show that we're better people.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes have yet failed us for our vain help, and our watching. We have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Nah, Trump is going to make everything better.
Could not save us.
Obama was going to make everything better.
Could not save us.
Sean, we're dependent on a nation that cannot save us. The only person that can save us is the Most High God. That's why we have to come back to these law, statutes, commandments, stop celebrating these pagan holidays, and come back to these holy days that are ordained from the Most High God. We have to. That's the only way we're going to earn our rights to the kingdom, earn our rights in that book of life.
Stop teaching our children these Valentine's Day. Stop teaching your children this Easter Bunny. Passover around the same time. Teach them the Passover.
Right.
Stop putting that ham on the table and put that lamb on the table.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how Christianity, now these laws tell you thou shalt not lie, but you sitting there telling your kids that Santa exists.
Tell them that a bunny laying eggs.
A bunny
laying eggs.
You see what I'm saying? Like these are the reasons why we can't be in these Christian religions. We can't be in these Catholic religions, because not only are they hypocrites, but they go against everything that Christ YHWH, as we know, his real name is YHWH, but the masses know him as Christ, so we tend to use Christ a little more. But these are the things we got to come up out of. They're going against everything YHWH preach, man.
Pastor Pork Chop ain't teaching you none of these holy days. None of these holy days.
Right.
It say the priest's lips should keep knowledge. But he got you celebrating Santa Claus in the church. He got you keeping Easter in the church.
Bugged out, man.
Ain't got nothing to do with no resurrection.
Bugged out.
Nothing at all.
I mean, before we start going crazy, man, we're just gonna start jumping from precept to precept. We'll handle all this nationality. Matter of fact, we're gonna do another video on that because I've been having a lot of people hit my inbox and asking about nationality and who we are according to the Bible. So we're gonna do another video on that pretty soon. I hope this video was edifying to people out there who are watching. I appreciate y'all. Really thank y'all. Hope we open the eyes to some of y'all.
Thank you for the support. Thank you for the people who reach out to us.
For real.
It really means a lot. I mean, I thank the Most High that He's blessing us to bring you all this knowledge through us. Because it ain't us, it's the Most High. We just planting the seed.
Right.
He opened up our eyes so that we could see. I mean, we was living out there in the wilderness, living wild. Being party animals. With the carnal mind. And thanks to the Most High, like this month be coming, I'll be clean, not drinking, not smoking, nothing. For like the past year, this is all praise to the Most High. And He done opened my eyes to this. I didn't even try church, but then when I start studying this Bible and going back to our lineage as us being the true children of Israel, that's when everything started to wake me up and showing me that we don't need these things. Right. We done started keeping these holy days, the Sabbath days. We done been blessed. We done been blessed abundantly, man. The Most High making our cup running over. You know what I mean? We bringing y'all the juices that's flowing out the cup. Right, you know what I mean? Like I said, thank you. And if you want more further edification, we got a Facebook page. It's called The Rise of the Chosen, Truth Beyond the Surface Temple. And our people, we love y'all, man.
And again, thank you. We give all honor and all glory to Yahweh but thank you again for everything, man. Shalom. Keep watching up, keep the edification up, and I hope y'all being edified, man.
Whom Yosharala? Whom Yosharala? Whom Yosharala?
Rise Israel, man. We out of here.
Stepped in with my garment on. About to party from the morning till the night's gone. Feeling good, got your bouncing like a 6'4". Giving praises and I'm dancing till the beat's gone. Ha, fringes swaying in the wind. Shalom, Most High and Christ bless every time I step in. Ha, and I do it for my fam, bro. Who? That's the 12 tribes of Israel. It's a feast day.